right, 877-496-1190. That's the number you can call to be part of the Hog Call here on 1190 The Fan. And with us, we got Kevin McPherson from Sporting Life Arkansas and Hogville.net. Kevin, how you doing today?
Doing great. Glad to be back on.
And Kevin, you know, we talked a little bit about visit dates last time, but we've had some updates since then as well.
Right, so we talked about Josh LeBlanc and Keyshawn Embry, two players that are on different grassroots teams on the Under Armour circuit. Both have been coveted by Arkansas for a while. Both have Arkansas offers, and both are they're friends, and they're going to visit together on the weekend of August 25th through the 27th. Now, these guys we broke this news last Friday, but neither player had actually released their top list of schools, and they've narrowed it down. Both of them this week have announced their favorites. And Arkansas for Josh LeBlanc. Now, he's the 6'7" combo forward out of Louisiana, out of Baton Rouge. 7'1" wingspan, was just named the Under Armour Defensive Player of the Year. He announced a top four with Arkansas, Texas A&M, LSU, and Georgetown. And he's actually going to visit Georgetown this weekend, take an official visit there. But like we said, he's lined up for an official visit at Arkansas, August 25th to the 27th. Now, the other two schools, he told me hasn't nailed down dates yet for official visits to A&M and LSU, so he's still working on that. And then Keyshawn Embry, he's a 6'3" combo guard out of Midwest City High School in Oklahoma City area. Arkansas offered him not that long ago, right during the July live periods, but they'd been recruiting him for over a year. You know, he took an unofficial visit last fall. Anyway, he announced a top five that includes Arkansas, Arizona State, West Virginia, Butler, and also Texas A&M. So he had told me last week that if he and his friend Josh LeBlanc end up going to the same school, that really Arkansas was the only possibility for that. But it appears that both players have Texas A&M among their finalists, so it'll be interesting to see if they end up visiting there at the same time. Now, Keyshawn Embry, in addition to his visit August 25th through the 27th at Arkansas, he's going to visit Butler on September the 9th, West Virginia on September the 15th, and Texas A&M on September 29th. So it'll be interesting to see if Josh LeBlanc also visits Texas A&M that same weekend of the 29th. That might be another landing spot if those two wanted to play together, would be Texas A&M. These guys are, again, these are not flash in the pan, just popping up on Arkansas's radar. Arkansas offered Josh LeBlanc back in early May, the May 1st, in fact. They've been recruiting Keyshawn Embry for roughly a year. So these are guys they've been on for a while. They've gotten to know them pretty well. They stay in constant contact. These are two guys they'd love to have.
Now you've got a few other people on target as well that Arkansas is currently looking at.
Yeah, we talked the other day about Matthew Horton, 6'10", 16 and a half actually, junior college big man that's originally from Arkansas. He played at El Dorado High School briefly with Daniel Gafford when he was a sophomore, and then he moved to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, finished up playing there, and then he's at Shelton State Community College there in Alabama. He'll be a sophomore. He's part of that class of 2018, so this will be his last year at JUCO. Arkansas has been involved. They got to watch him in a top 100 JUCO event back in July. Georgetown offered this player last week. So Patrick Ewing, the new head coach there, he knows a little something about playing the post.
Yeah.
So they're on him. They've offered him. That says a lot. I think Arkansas is probably close to offering him. He's taking summer school courses. That's what his coach at Shelton State told me. Arkansas is in contact with him daily. Associate head coach Melvin Watkins is the lead recruiter. They converse daily via phone or text or some method. And then T.J. Cleveland is friends with the head coach at Shelton JUCO, and he and the head coach talk at least once a week, he told me, and they talk a lot about Matthew Horton. So I think this is a guy that's definitely on Arkansas's radar. The coach at Shelton State Community College believes that Horton will receive an offer at some point. The plan now is for him to come to Fayetteville sometime in September. Now, that could change, but that's the plan as of now.
Now, also,
so when you look at this class of 2018, Arkansas's got three commitments, right? They've got the three guys that are part of the Arkansas Hogs program, right. Ethan Henderson, Isaiah Joe, and Desi Seals. And with three more to give, these three names we just mentioned, I think, might be at the top of the pecking order just based on information right now.
Now, there's also some news going on with the Arkansas Wings as well.
Right, and the wings are going up. There's 4 players on the wings that Arkansas is looking at. It starts with Chris Moore, the 6'6" combo forward out of West Memphis. He averaged a double-double last year at West Memphis as a freshman. I think he was the first freshman starter ever at West Memphis, and that's saying a lot with the tradition the players have had come through that program. But also Gerald Dokes at Jacksonville Lighthouse, Devontae Davis at Jacksonville Lighthouse, a couple of super quick, talented guards that are part of that wings program that are starting to get attention nationally. And these guys are already getting some offers, according to the coach with the wings, Antonio Buchanan. Texas A&M and TCU and SMU, and these are some of the programs that have already extended offers to Chris Moore and to Gerald Dokes. And so the 3 of those guys, in addition to Caleb London, who's a 6'4" wing out of Memphis, those guys are going to trip up to Fayetteville on Saturday the 19th to visit. And so, kind of keep an eye. I think that Chris Moore might be the first one out of that group to get an Arkansas offer. Arkansas doesn't typically offer players before their junior season. If you look historically, Justice Hill got an offer as a freshman, but that was because they knew he was prepared to commit on the spot, and he did within a day. And then Arkansas offered Ethan Henderson a scholarship just prior to his sophomore season, right after the elite camp. So right about this time of year, 2 years ago, Ethan Henderson got an offer. It was probably a conditional offer. He committed a year later. So we could see now that a guy like Chris Moore about to enter his sophomore season, this would be about the same time that Ethan Henderson got an offer. So there's a good chance, I think, based on what this guy has shown, that he could get an offer. I'm not going to swear by it, but I think it's a good potential. And I'd say the same for Moses Moody. Now, Moses Moody's part of that Team Superstar South program. We talk about the Arkansas Wings, we talk about the Arkansas Hawks, but Team Superstar South had a 15-under team that was nationally ranked in the top 10, finished that way. Moses Moody's the top player on that group. He's probably considered a top 30 player in his class for 2020. Also going to be a sophomore, transferring from Parkview, North Little Rock, but he's still planning on making a trip to Fayetteville sometime this month. His folks are trying to get that worked out right now, but he may be heading up to Fayetteville. He's another guy I think that we could see get an offer sooner rather than later.
Now, you also wanted to talk a little about the current Razorbacks as well.
Yeah, not too long ago, it's in the last few weeks, ESPN did basically a summer preseason basketball power index. The NCAA Tournament Selection Committee, they go off of the RPI strength of schedule that the NCAA has put out. I know that they're tweaking that somewhat to put emphasis on wins and winning away from home more so than just who you play, but actually the results are going to matter more in the new calculations. But ESPN's always done they started doing a few years ago a basketball power index, a BPI, which is a little different. Its formula is a little bit different. It actually factors in things like injuries and teams that are playing without key players at certain times. It factors in not only strength of schedule and what your record is, but also your winning and losing margins. So those things come into play in that calculation. But it's something that fans definitely follow. I think unofficially the selection committee probably takes a look at that. But it's a pretty good gauge of where ESPN thinks Arkansas is going to be just entering the season. They've got them ranked 21st in that. In fact, it's a top 50 right now. And there's 10 teams in the SEC that are in that top 50 preseason, which says a lot about the league and maybe how perception's starting to change. Arkansas is one of only 4 teams in the top 25 as they come in at number 21 for the preseason basketball power index. So it's definitely something interesting for fans. Arkansas, obviously coming into a season with some newcomers, but, last year they had 6 newcomers and they ended up becoming a 26-win team, finished third in the SEC. Got to the SEC championship game and then ended up, being a top half seed in the NCAA tournament. So, this is a team that coming into it's going to have some question marks. Probably going to be a better defensive team. Definitely bringing in some length and athleticism they haven't had at multiple positions. There'll be growing pains. They're going to play their toughest schedule in the Mike Anderson era. But Mike Anderson teams play their best basketball in the last third of the season, and that's when you want to start peaking. So these little predictors like this basketball power index, pretty good stuff for fans to, at least look forward to. We got football season right here at the doorstep, so for the basketball junkies like me, this stuff is fun to follow.
Well, Kevin, we're going to hit a commercial break here in just a minute, but tell the folks where they can follow you and get all the latest and greatest updates on Arkansas Razorback basketball and basketball recruiting in the state of Arkansas.
Sure, you can follow me on Twitter at ARHoopScoop. I also contribute at hogville.net as well as sportinglifearkansas.com. And I'll leave you with one more thought. We were talking about Moses Moody. Not only is this guy, known here locally, and he's starting to make a name for himself nationally, but Findlay Prep, which is one of the, prestigious prep schools out there that's basically a basketball factory, they offered him a spot for the upcoming season. Now, he's going to play at North Little Rock, but that's pretty heady stuff. A couple of other guys with Arkansas ties, Connor Vanover, who's going to be a senior, the 7'3" stretch 5, he's going to play at Findlay Prep this year for his senior season. And then T.J. Moss, out of Memphis East, who has an Arkansas offer, he's going to play his senior season at Findlay Prep also. So there's some connections there, but Moses is staying put. Still a pretty prestigious place to be getting an offer to play as a sophomore.
Well, definitely. Everybody's heard of Findlay Prep, and that's some big news as well. Well, Kevin, we want to thank you for the update. We're looking forward to talking to you again Monday, and take care.
All right, guys. Looking forward to it as well. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you. That's Kevin McPherson, sportinglifearkansas.com, hogville.net, and, of course, you can follow him on Twitter at ARHoopScoop for the best in local recruiting and Razorback updates.